Yeah.
You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. I'm raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it.
Yo, what is up, BBZ Mafia? I'm TG. That's Sean. This is Mr. B. Brandon Rogers, the father of Bryson Rogers. How you all doing?
I'm
Doing
good.
great.
Showing TG. What's up,
Good.
Sean?
What's going on, Brandon? Finally, glad to finally meet you, man. I know we've been talking about doing this for a couple months now, and finally able to get you on, man. Just so happy that you're finally here, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you for having me, man.
Yeah.
It's an honor for us.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, everybody, that it took us a little bit. We were having some technical difficulties, but we're now on it. You guys get to ask. If you guys have any questions for Mr. Rogers, you could put it down in the chat. But since we're here, Sean, you want to start us off with the first question?
Oh, Brandon, just what age did you start Bryson in sports? How little was he when he first started, when you got him going?
Actually, he started playing football at like about 4 or 5. Actually, he played baseball first because his mom's only child, so his mom was just protecting over him in every aspect. So she didn't want him to play football at first. So actually, we rode past a couple football fields while he was leaving baseball practice, and he asked me, he said, "Dad, you think I could try football?" So I went home and I worked with him for a few weeks, man, and I seen he had the passion for it, so I took him out there and he loved it ever since.
Now, when he was in high school, did he just play football, or was he a multiple sport athlete?
He played football and basketball, but as eventually he got more into his recruitment, most of the recruiters told him just to stick to the one sport and focus on one thing just because he knew where he was going to school for, so he didn't have to really play two sports. He could just focus on the one.
Okay, that's great. The best thing is, what did the recruiting process feel like? What was that like going through that?
Actually, the recruiting process was great. Like I said, man, it was all new to me. It was new to him. But like it was great, man. Like I said, we got to go across the country. We got to meet a whole lot of different people, different coaches, got to see a lot of different facilities. We just got a lot of knowledge of the recruitment process. But like I said, Bryson actually shut his recruitment down early because after he took his visit to Ohio State, he didn't take no more visits.
Okay, what was it about Ohio State that drew him? That drew him there?
Well, Bryson's originally from Ohio, so he's been a Buckeye. When they say you bleed Buckeye, I feel like you have to be an Ohio kid to say that. That's just my
Mhm.
personal opinion. I feel like to say you bleed Buckeye, you have to be born in the state where the Buckeyes are. So Bryson, he's bleeding Buckeye ever since he was born. He wanted to be a Buckeye, so that's been his dream school ever since he was a kid. Man, he always wanted to go there. So we just knew if he worked hard and he tried his best that he had a chance because like I said, his skill level was there. He just didn't have an offer from Ohio State.
Wow, I never knew that.
Where was he born at?
He was born in Warren, Ohio.
Warren, Ohio.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was born in Warren, Ohio. Like I said, I went to Warren Western Reserve. I played with Corey Stringer, LaShawn Daniels, the same high school that Boone Heron went to, Maurice
Okay.
Claret. Yeah, all these guys, we all went to the same high school. So this area right here, they breed him, man. So he comes from that area. So actually, I just moved him to Florida when he was like about 6 months to a year. His mom moved here. We moved him
Okay.
here. So like I said, he go back every summer and he work out with high school guys and he participate in sports there. So he still had a feel of Ohio in his heart because he went back every summer when he got out of school. So he's Ohio born and bred, man.
What was When was it? Do you have a moment when you just looked and you saw him playing? And you're like, dang, he can make it to college. He's got it. Was there like a specific moment, or was there like what age would you say, hey man, I think he's got the goods to go to big time football here?
Actually, like I said, during his recruitment process, I won't say the schools, but like I said, he a couple of guys they landed helicopters on the field for him. And these guys were big time. So
Yeah.
when that happened, I knew he had a great chance. Like I said, the recruitment process is just back and forth, but until you actually talk to the guy in charge, I'm talking about the head guy in charge,
Mhm.
then that's when you know it's real. So like I said, I talked to a couple big time guys and they actually came to a school and landed helicopters on the field, and it was huge, man. So from that point on, like I said, I knew he had a good shot, but like
Ooh, he kind of froze. Yeah,
oh, okay.
You
you
kind of froze there for a second.
All
Sorry.
right.
What was his first big offer? Who was it from?
Um
What age?
Actually he had his first offer. He didn't actually Bryson didn't get offers the until probably like his 11th grade year. The
Okay.
beginning of his 11th grade year, that's when his offers started to click. The end of his sophomore year, the beginning of his 11th grade year, that's when his offers started to click because he had a huge sophomore year and he had a huge junior year. So that's when really his offers started to click. But he had like I said, he had I think 48.
Whoa.
He had
Dang.
48,
wow.
man. So he had all D1s, top five. He had everything, man. Like I said, so he shut it down, like I said, because he dreamed of being a Buckeye, man. So once that dream became a reality, he locked in, man, and he's been locked in ever since.
Here's a question I do have. What was it like for him when he first got the Buckeye offer? What was that like? What was his feeling in that moment?
Oh my God, listen, he was it was heaven for him, man. Because like I said, he was already silently committed to another school, but
Okay.
he didn't. He's verbally committed to another school, but he still had his recruitment open. So, like I said, at the end of like the almost 2 weeks before recruitment was over, Coach Hartline reached out to him, and Coach Hartline came down and watched him at a couple practices, and he offered him, and then gave Bryson a couple offers official visit to come to the school. So actually, it's weird because like yesterday was Haskins' birthday,
Uh,
and that's when actually we were up there last year. Is when it was the same time last year. And I think that energy from that interaction and the brotherhood and Bryson seeing how those guys cared for each other and seeing all the guys there, I think that kind of solidified that that's where he needed to be and that's where he wanted to be. So like it was weird yesterday when I saw it and I was like, man, it just brought up memories, not great memories for the Haskin family, but for
sure.
me and my family, it's great memories, man. Like I said, just the energy was there that day, and he cut all his commitment off, and he locked in that day. That's when he said he was going to be a Buckeye.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, that's amazing. What was your thinking? What are your thoughts on Ryan Day and Brian Hartline and the coaching staff at Ohio State? What did you think when you first met them?
I like Ryan Day and I like Coach Hartline. The thing about the coaches at Ohio State is honesty, man. So, there was a lot of things that they told me that I didn't expect to hear, but it was good to hear because you need to know both sides when you go in. Like a lot of schools would make it sound super sweet and they'll tell you a lot of things that's going to happen, but when you get there everything will be changed and like I said, so like I got there and one thing I knew was that those guys are winners, so I knew they were going to be there for a while. I didn't want Bryson to go to a school where the coaches would be there for 1 or 2 years and then he had to deal with a different position coach or a different head coach. So I knew going to O State, they're I knew that they would be there at least for the time that he would be there. So like I said, that's another reason why I like Coach Hartline and I like Coach Day.
What do you think of him being promoted, Coach Hartline being promoted to offensive coordinator?
I think
What
it's
were your
good,
thoughts on
man.
that?
I think it's good. Like I said, Hart played the game before, man. So like,
Mhm.
I respect that in Hart. That's one thing I do respect about him. He played the game, so he knows the game. So like, that's the difference between him and a lot of other coaches that I looked at too. A lot of these guys never played the game. They never were a part of the game. They just, knew a guy who got a job. And I didn't want my son to be developed by a guy who used to be a tight end coach last year or a DB coach the following year. I wanted them to actually be developed by a wide receiver coach and a guy who was a wide receiver and actually played wide receiver in college and played high receiver in NFL. So, like I said, there was so many factors in me like telling Bryson that Coach Hart would be a good fit for him just because of who he is and what he's been through.
And it's funny that you mentioned that about Brian Hartline because our other we have two other hosts on this station, Devin and Mello. Mello is the one who always tells everybody that Bryson Rogers is the best route runner in America.
He is,
And you
man.
can just, I mean, you
Yeah,
like
He is,
yeah,
him,
dude.
oh,
that
so
he's,
definitely.
He is, man. Those are
and
facts, dude. Those
I
are
mean,
facts.
he's the first. I mean, our boy Mello was the first one to come out on YouTube to tell everybody that he's been talking about that for a year now, and you can just see it in the way your son runs routes, how pristine his cuts are, and how I mean he's not sloppy. I mean it's almost like he does it the same time, the same way every time. I mean he's got it down pat. I mean,
It's the same thing I told him last year, right? Because not last year when Bryson actually early graduated. So I when he went to spring, he went early graduation, and I told him, I said, dude, when you go there, don't change up who you are. Don't be exactly who you are when you're here. So when he went there, like I said, I knew his route runner was exceptional. So like the first spring camp, like I said, Bryson broke the Michael Thomas reception record, the percentage record. So during the whole spring, he dropped like two balls out of like he had like a 94% catch rate during the whole camp. So after that, I knew I'm like, dude, this guy can run routes because you got to be able to run routes and get separation to get open.
yep.
But like I say, it's kind of like I tell him it's a pro and a con because like I said, Bryson actually had a great quarterback in high school too. So that's kind of like a thing I think that he kind of went through too, like as far as like when he went to O State before they got Will Howard. The guys they were okay, but they weren't, you know what I mean? They weren't exceptional quarterbacks. So in my mind, it was like how, it's hard to balance out a 5-star receiver with a 3-star quarterback. So like
Sure.
I told him at the same time, you have to wait and that'll all come in time because the quarterback has to have the same value as the receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, once they got Will and I seen what Will could do and I seen him in practice and I knew he had a great arm and he's a smart kid and I knew they were going, man. Like I knew what they were going to do. So it worked out for the better.
Was the quarterback? If you want to answer this, you can. If not, it's cool. I get it. Was that one of the main reasons why he hopped in the transfer portal last year? Was it
Bryson?
because? Yeah. Was it because of
Yeah.
the quarterback position?
No, 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 no. Bryson's in the portal had nothing to do with, like I just said, Bryson broke the Michael
Yeah.
Thomas percentage. It had nothing to do with on the field performance. Like right now, it has nothing to do. Like Bryson
Yeah.
is the most competitive guy there. He knows he's one of the
Sure.
best guys in the room. So he don't really care about what other people think or what other people say. He don't play the game for other people, man. He plays with the game for the people that support him and care about him, that know what he can do. So he blocks out that noise. He don't really care about that. But no, that wasn't the reason that he went into the portal. Like I said, as far as information and a lot of things that we went into in the beginning, we didn't understand in the beginning. And
Oh, okay.
in order for us to get some clarity for the second time, he had to really show if he was valuable or not. If they really valued him in their room as a player, as a student athlete. So there was, like I said, there was clarity he needed as an athlete, as a student, as a person in that room too. So it had nothing to do with as far as on the field performance. He can play with the best of them out there. So yeah, that
No,
never was.
I was just wondering if it was the quarterback. If he was just worried about the
Mhm.
quarterback.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, like I just said,
Yeah.
that's a bit. Like I said, because Bryson, like I said, his quarterback right now. Well,
Is awesome.
yeah, he's awesome, dude. Like I said, Will was great, and those guys
Mhm.
are great, and they're working. But like I said, when he first got there, those
Yeah,
guys
we all
weren't
know.
all whatever, and they had a little
Yeah.
battle. So to me, it was like, how can we evaluate the receivers when we haven't even evaluated the quarterbacks? So it was like I was telling him, I was like, he was getting a little discouraged
Sure.
because, like I said, his high school quarterback is Rocco Beck,
Oh, okay.
Iowa State.
Oh.
So he's been playing with Rocco since
They
ninth
were,
grade.
yeah.
He's been playing
Oh,
with
okay.
Rocco since ninth grade. So he's been playing with a college caliber quarterback. So when he got to college and that kind of dropped a little bit, that kind of he felt like took away from him a little bit.
Sure.
But
Okay.
like I told him, that's all he got to do is stay locked in and keep doing what he's doing and believing in himself, man. Because the proof is on the field. Like I said, if you all you gotta do is watch him, man. Like I said, dude, all you gotta do is watch him, and you can tell from his mechanics that it's gonna be hard to stop that guy.
That's why we on this channel,
That's
man, we're
why
the
we
ones
love
that
him.
champion it, man. We champion him as the best route runner in college football.
Yeah,
I
him,
mean, no doubt.
him, and Brandon Ennis, because those two, we are so lucky to have them.
Right. And the thing about Bryson is Bryson can play inside and outside. So Bryson
Hmm.
could go to slot and he could go to in motion and be the outside guy too. So like I say, his main thing, well, I guess they kept telling him his main thing was weight and he wasn't big enough. And that's where his main thing they kept telling him he got to get bigger. And I guess, when you got guys like JJ and you know what I mean, you got, you're expected to be a certain size, but at the same time, like I tell him, like, most of the guys in the NFL are his prototype, six
Hmm.
Mhm.
two, 6'3", 6'4", 190. Those are prototype NFL receivers, man. So you just got to worry about whatever you're comfortable with, man. Everybody's going to tell you to do whatever and be whoever and try to do whatever you're comfortable with, man. That's what you have to go with. So like I said, I tell them all the time, dude, like, prototype receiver, Jamar Chase, and these guys 6'2", 6'3", fast, man, can catch, run routes. You're the prototype. That's a prototype NFL receiver.
I
Yeah,
mean, look at Coach Hartline when he went to the NFL. He wasn't
Right,
a
yeah,
right,
prototype.
right. See
exactly.
now,
I mean,
now, now,
Hmm.
now you hit a spot right there. Because
yeah.
like I said, like I do numbers, man. So I know everybody's numbers. I know what somebody weighed and what
Mhm.
they did when their time was whatever compared to right now. So I'm like, it has to make sense. Like, okay, like Bryson's weight and size right now is almost the same as a couple guys that are in the league right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I
we,
would
we
even say, I think I would say that what they wanted him to get bigger, I don't think it's like weight, but more like build up your muscle a little
right,
bit
right. When
more
and he
so.
knows that. Like, yeah, he knows that. He knows that being a slot receiver coming through there, those guys gonna put hands on you, man.
Oh,
So
they're gonna take your head off.
oh,
And
he
you're,
knows
yeah,
that, man. Like I
exactly.
said, but he say he don't fear that, man. He'll go across the middle. He don't fear that. So he knows that. Like I said, he knows that that's one thing he has to do to enhance his game, but he also feels like the things that he already got in his game that he don't worry about that. He not even worrying about a guy putting their hands because he gonna 1-2 step him so quick he ain't gonna have a chance to put his hands on him. So that's his mentality. Like I said, but he knows that he has to get bigger and Coach Mick and those guys work hard with him. So like I said, he's gonna reach his peak, man, and he's gonna do good. Like I said, I just don't want him to get discouraged thinking that size is everything because
Sure.
there's all kind of sizes guys in the NFL. So it's based on skill and technique.
And if you can perform,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
If
know,
you can perform,
when
you
the
you'll get
lights
on
are
the
on,
field.
man, can you perform when the lights are brightest? You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
That's always the biggest thing. And also, would you be willing to put the team before yourself and do what they ask of you? Like
Yeah.
do special teams if they want you to try to help make special
block.
teams a weapon in any way, or block. Like he said, like with Carnell Tate, one of the things that got him with Ohio State was his ability to block. Wow, he may not have been the number two because it was a mech at the time, but his blocking really played a part in them getting the run game going. And I
Yeah.
think with Bryson, he's got that same mentality. And I think that's another reason why Ohio State want to get a little stronger because it's like, dude, you got to be able to block some of these guys for us to get the run game going as well.
Yeah. Yep.
I noticed last year, everybody knows that zone 6, the blocking definitely took a step up from the year before.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know if it was
Yep.
an attitude thing, if Chip Kelly brought that in or what, what it was, but man,
He did.
those guys were just pancaking people and driving people into the ground. It was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, dude, we mix it up a little bit. We try, put different guys in there, man. Like one guy who I would say who made a big difference. I think Luke Montgomery made a big difference
Mhm.
as far as
Hmm.
guys that stepped up and stepped into a role. And you know what I mean. I think Luke did a great job out there, man. So like I said, it's all about opportunity and giving the guys a chance, man. Like I said, so I was happy with how the season went. And I was ecstatic.
Yeah,
If
that
he
was
had
actually be my next question. Actually, is what do you think of what was your impression of the 2024 team, and what do you think Bryson had learned from Emeka and all the veteran guys that have been on the team?
He learned everything from Mac, man. Like I say, Bryson and he was young. Like I said, when he got there, he graduated early. So Bryson went straight out of high school. So like I say, he was unsure of a lot of things, man. And I think two guys that really stepped up and helped him a lot was like I said, Mac was one and G Scott was another one. So those two guys like stepped in and gave him, idea of what faith he had to believe in God, and different things that he had to trust in his life. So, like I said, I actually the season was great for me. Like I said, minus the one game that I didn't really care about that anyway, because you know what I mean. I didn't care about those guys, man. So, like I said,
Yeah.
the end result for me was the national championship. So that's the only thing that I really would say about the season that really made me feel some type of way. I felt like sometimes we focus too more on that game, and that
Mhm.
took away from who we are as a team. And we're bigger than that. Like we're way bigger than that game, and we showed that this year. So
Mm.
if worse comes to worse, and they get that game, and we get this one, I guess I would rather take this one any day than that game. So
Ooh,
Take the ring, right?
that's a
Take the
good
right,
one.
ring.
right,
Yeah,
right. So
because with
like I said,
most yeah, because with most Buckeye fans, it's like because we're so stuck because of today's day and age, and it goes all the way back to like a war we fought over.
yeah,
Ohio and Michigan fought over for a crappy city. No
yeah,
offense,
yeah,
but it's like if we want to like had a choice, because I've been one of the main people seeing it. If I had a choice between the game and the national title, I take the national title because the
right,
one thing is if you beat Michigan but you don't win the Natty, who cares? We don't even
right,
remember
right,
those teams that beat
right.
Michigan but didn't win the Natty. We don't. And
Yep.
that's what I was gonna ask you was what were your thoughts about the game, but more importantly, what the brawl that took place after the fact.
That to me, like I said, that's football, man. Like I said, I can't even say that I wouldn't have stood my ground too, because
Sure.
that's my home team and that's my field, and I'm big on disrespect, man. So like I said, we play the game as gentlemen, we lose the game as gentlemen, we win as gentlemen and lose as gentlemen. So, but at the same time, we have to be respectful of everybody and everybody's field, and like we're we're on the path to be professionals, man. So
Mhm.
like let's act like professionals now. Like I told Bryson, Bryson there's no pictures nowhere near the brawl or the rally, because Bryson ain't into that. But me, like I said, I'm different. I would have probably been right out there too, man. But like I said, the game I didn't really care about because, like I said, it was just one game to me. Like I said, and I feel like sometimes we get so caught up into that. Then right after that game, we was a whole different team.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
So
We took belt the ass to the ACC after that. Huh? We took belt the ass to the whole SEC after that. After that one game, we looked like a whole different team, man. That shit was off our back. We don't have to worry about that no more. That's in the past, man.
yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? And I felt like Coach Day too. I felt like that was a big thing with Coach Day. We were trying to condemn the man for one game, man. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? What are we
Exactly.
doing when
Yeah.
we still have a chance to be great?
Hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't, like I said, I didn't appreciate that either, man. I didn't appreciate all I felt like after that game, like a lot of our fans were like negative, man, and not getting the big picture. And like I
It's
said,
just like college
I,
football changed so much because before, if you lost that game, you
You
needed
weren't
to
going to
win
the
that
Natty.
game to go
yeah,
to the Rose Bowl and to play for a
yeah,
national championship. Now that they expanded the playoff, you can lose that game, and it doesn't, it
listen,
really doesn't matter as long as you can still get to go and
you
play
know
for
what
a
happened
championship.
after we lost that game? Guess where I
It's all
went?
together.
I went to the Rose Bowl, I went to the Cotton Bowl, and then I went to the national championship.
Yeah.
Right. And honestly, I
You
would
know what I
say
mean?
I think it's
But
just
that
like
game, like I
conviction.
said, that game was it was a factor, but it wasn't. Like I said, it was a factor what I wasn't. I felt like after we got that out of our system,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
we were championship destined after that.
Did you think
Yeah.
that game brought them closer together though? It kind of rallied them. They kind of because two
Yeah,
things could
yeah,
have happened. They
because
could have either
in
folded.
actuality, like I said, like Ryan Day, like everybody. But sometimes everybody has to take accountability. The guys on the field didn't lose the game.
Sure. Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
we gotta take accountability. Everybody does, man. Like
Mhm.
everybody does that. Those guys didn't lose the game. That was a we know what happened
Yep.
there. The same way
Exactly.
it happened, you know what I mean? We had to say,
Sure.
I don't like calling, like I said, we all know what it
Yeah.
is. We know the
Yep.
game. So we take accountability and move on, man. Like those guys didn't lose that game. They weren't put in a position to win it. And you have to be put in the position by your coaches, man. They have
Exactly.
to they have
Yep.
to put you in the best position and call it best plays. And I just felt like that game we didn't really do it. So I didn't really give the whole loss to the students. So
Sure.
You shouldn't really, because the one thing I love about Coach Day is he actually did take accountability for that,
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
that yes, it's on my shoulders, and he rallied the
right,
team, and I think that's what helped. But
right.
the other thing is with Buckeye fans too, I think it's because it's tradition for us to kind of get that way at this point. It's gonna take Buckeye fans a while to really, I think, kind of get out of that because the game is still the game, and it's still like I guess it's it's more so not even I guess I know for a fact because I was born into it. It's for pride in a
Hmm.
lot of ways. So I think with the 12 team playoff, we may see Buckeye fans kind of slowly but surely start to not really care whether or not we lose that game as much. Like I don't think it'd be as big, but I think this game will still be very important from a traditional standpoint, just because it's tradition, and we cling
And
on to
don't
that.
get me wrong, like
Yeah.
I do care because I want to beat the shit out of them every year.
Yep.
But I
Exactly.
don't want us to get
Yeah.
so caught up into it. After, like I said, even after we lost the game, we still knew we got a chance to go to the Natty.
Yep.
Yep.
So okay, like that's water under the bridge, man. Let's focus on the path that we got in front of us right now. Because it'd be different if we didn't have a chance to go to the Natty and we
Sure.
lost to them, and that'd be a whole different scenario. But we didn't. So, like I said, it worked out for us, man. So
Exactly.
I like I
Yep.
said,
Exactly.
I thought the whole season was great, man. It worked out for the guys that came back. The season that I really was happy for because the guys that came back, man. Those guys came back and they gave the younger guys hope, and they gave those guys a chance to. Without those guys, the younger guys don't see the national championship. With those guys not making the sacrifice they made, Bryson, none of those guys, Jeremiah, none of those guys see none of that, man. So you have to really look at those guys that actually came back and sacrificed, because a lot of those guys could have left last year. You know, they sacrificed, man, for the betterment of everybody. And that's something that I say their locker room, as long as they have that, they'll always be winners, man. Like in my eyes, as long as they have that energy, they'll always be winners because everybody's willing to do whatever for the W instead of for their self.
I mean, the brotherhood's no
Absolutely.
joke, man. It's a real thing, and that the culture that Ryan Day has built there. I mean, they had a culture before Ryan Day with Urban, but I mean, he just took it to another level. And, I mean, it's real. I
That's one
mean,
of the better things. That it really is. Like we are so lucky to have Ryan Day and what he does, especially because what he does with mental health and how he's like
Yeah.
we brought it up. He's like a father to some of these kids, like a second dad, because of how much he cares about them, and they can go to him for anything. And I would say for you, Mr. Rogers, that's a great thing that you have a coach that you can trust with your son. Is that not a wonderful feeling?
That's the great feeling. I'm like I said, I'm 2,500 miles away from him, so it's great knowing that my son is protected by somebody who trusts in him and he trusts in him. So it's a beautiful thing. Like I said, I like Ryan Day, I like Hardline, I like Jordan, I like the whole coaching staff, man. Like everybody there's good guys, man, good people.
now if Bryson had his choice, would he rather play inside or outside? What does he dig the most? I mean, what does he enjoy the most?
Actually, honestly, Bryson don't care. He just love football, dude. He will
Okay.
play anywhere. He don't care. Like he just want to play. So like that's the thing. He don't have a preference. Because he know he could play both. So like I
Hmm.
said, you just watch his film, dude. If you watch his film, he's inside and outside. So there's some routes where he's inside, there's some routes he don't really care, dude. He just like to play football, man. He's competitive, so that's the main thing why he don't care. He don't care who you put on him or where you put him at. He just want to play.
That's
Now,
amazing.
what do you think of it so far? I mean, what do you think this team's going to do this year? I mean, what have you got any feelings from Bryson how they're coming together so far in spring?
I mean, I don't want to say this, but I don't know. I just feel like we're in the same position that we was before we got Will. That's why I feel like we went back to that position again. Like I like both of the guys. I like saying I like both of those guys, but I just feel like sometimes to me, when there's a when you're uncertain about the two,
Mm-hmm.
that means you're uncertain about the one.
Yep.
Shit, if you know who the one is,
Put him out there.
say who the one is, man. You know what I mean? So if you're uncertain about the two, you're probably uncertain about the one, man. So it's like I don't know. I just feel like sometimes we stepped into that situation again. But like I said, we got a whole spring to get good, man. Those guys got a whole lot of time to work, man. They got a great staff. So it's early in the season now, man. So like I said, I'll be actually leaving tomorrow. I'm leaving in the morning to go see the spring game. So
Oh, nice.
like
Oh,
I said,
nice.
I haven't seen them really that much in person yet. So like this would be my first time. I didn't go to the appreciation. So this would be my first time actually seeing the team in action, man. So I don't really have a true evaluation of anybody yet because like I said, it's just practices right now. So until you see them in for yourself in game mode and game reps, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Ooh, I will say this one of my another one of my questions is what are your thoughts on NIL and the transfer portal taking place now with with recruiting and everything?
I mean, it's great for college kids, it's just bad for high school kids. Because like now as a high school kid, you're gonna have to work extra hard. You're gonna have to be extra exceptional. You have to be extra developed because colleges is ready to win right now. So they're gonna take a guy that's 2 years in college developed before they give their full ride to a high school kid, man. And that's just the reality of it. It ain't a knock on nobody or that's just colleges is this they're in the business of winning, man. So
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
gotta do what they gotta do to put themselves in position to win. So like I said, like the it kind of shifted. Like before you could get like 5 stars and everybody right out of high school, but like I said, now colleges want to win right now, so they're gonna take a 2 year guy that's developed over a high school kid any day.
I mean, it used to be you could stack those 5-star kids in your
Right,
program
right,
and let them develop, and now it's not like that anymore.
right, right. And
yeah.
like I said, the NIL ain't a big thing to me. Like I said, I mean, I feel like the kids should be getting some kind of
Sure.
compensation, man. This
Hmm.
is $1 billion business, man. So, but like the one thing as far as the kids, I don't want the kids just to be focused on the money aspect of
Mhm.
it because if you develop your craft and you stay disciplined and dedicated, the money's gonna come to you. You know what I mean? You're gonna get the money. But
Yeah.
if you focused on it so hard at the beginning, you probably won't focus on your craft as much, and that's where you disconnect, man. Because the money don't come if you don't perform. So
That's
I
actually
mean,
great advice for those
you know
kids
what I
too.
mean? Like I tell a lot of the kids, man, and the portal is a dangerous place. Like
Hmm.
you don't want to go there if you don't know where you're going next. If you don't
mhm.
know where you're going next, don't go to the portal. I tell
Yeah.
any kid before you go to the portal, know where you going. Because if
Yeah.
once you go there and
Yeah.
you ain't got nowhere to go, guess where you stay? Right
Yeah.
there. So
Perfect.
don't bail out on something before, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of times it's not greener on the other side. You have to decide whatever's best for you. So, like I said, if you're doing it just for the money, then I mean, it might not work out for you on the back end. But if you're doing it to reach the next level, then it might be beneficial to you. Like I said, I just feel like everybody should get something though, like because those kids can't live what you know what I mean
Sure.
Hmm.
under the scholarship circumstances that they have. It's hard for those kids to survive. You know what I mean? So I feel it's a great thing, man. I just don't want it to, as far as the kids aspect, to tarnish the kids, man. Like I feel like they should get whatever their value is, man.
Mhm.
Just you
Hmm.
know,
If you earn it, you should get it. That's the
right,
way I
man.
look at.
So like I have no problem with that. Like I said, I just the kids nowadays are so focused on it that it's funny that a lot of them get it before they even get one day on the field. Like
I
it's
know.
weird because like before you even step on practice, they didn't gave you so much. So right now, like
You're not hungry.
what happens if you go there and 5 guys are better than you?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like one of the things I would say is for some of these kids, it depends on their living situation because some kids would take the money to try to get their parents out of out of the hole that they're in just cuz. And I can feel bad for them in that regard, but also some parents like with Jordan Davison and Zahir Mathis, like their parents actually try to steer them towards the bag for whatever the reason, even when they really don't want to go to these places. They like those two really want to come here, but then their parents kind of steer them somewhere else, like for whatever reason, just for the money.
Right, right. You gotta it's the kid's dream, man. So
Mhm.
that's why I said I just gave Bryson the resources, man. He makes his own decisions. We talk about it as a team, but I don't make him do anything he don't want to do, man. He has to wherever he goes to school at, he has to know that when he get out of school, can you live there? Can you have a life there? Is that place enough to suffice the lifestyle that you want to have? If not, you probably don't want to go there, man. So like I said, a lot of decisions the kids have to make. Has to not be really worrying about your mom. Your mom not gonna have to get up and go to practice in 30-degree weather. So your mom
Yeah,
gonna be in Florida, and
Mhm.
under the palm trees, and you can be freezing going to class, and that's gonna play on your mental. So if you're on the field doesn't go how you want to, and then off the field isn't going how you want to, and that's a perfect recipe that you'll be back home within the following year.
Yeah, that's great. What would be your advice to the parents? Because you get great advice to the kids, but what would be your advice fully for the parents to understand how to handle the recruiting this day and age with transfer portal and the NIL, how and all around what's best when it comes to their kids, as well as college life?
See me what I did, right? And like I told Bryson, right? And I'm just saying me myself, right?
Hmm.
You can only go to one school. So it don't matter if you got 60 offers. You can only go to one school. So how about narrow it down to your top 5? And then after your top 5, narrow it down to your top 3. And then what you're not going to do is you're not going to sit up on a desk in front of the whole world and with 4 hats in front of you and be disrespectful to the people who took their time and energy to give you an offer and put the hats on and then throw them on the ground or kick the hat around and be disrespectful to the people that actually gave you an offer. So as I would say, as a parent, as a kid, be a good parent because good parents make good kids. If you're a bad parent, you're gonna be a bad kid. So that's how I would say. If you want your kid to be good as a parent.
Wow, that's awesome advice. And that's
Yeah, that's
amazing.
amazing.
I mean, I always had a coach that said, win with class. You win with class, you lose with class. And,
You're right.
carry that through life. If you treat people with respect, you'll get respect back.
Right. Yep.
But that's just amazing because you do see all those kids that have got 5 or 6 hats in front of them and they
Yeah,
put you
man.
up with a look at it. And
Yeah, look at it and throw it. You know what I mean? And like I
Yeah.
said too, right? Well, another thing that I did as a parent, the schools that Bryson did say no to, I still made him reach out to the coach and say thank you and appreciate you. And you know what I mean? I made him show
Mhm.
gratitude towards the people that show him gratitude. So that's just a small thing as a parent that I say it ain't really like the big things for me. It's just the small things. Like I said, I just want him to be a good person. And I didn't raise him to be a good football player. I raised him to be a gentleman and a good person first. And he just so happened to be good at football. So that's
Well,
what I was.
you done a fine job. And there's one thing that we have learned interviewing not only the parents, but a lot of these recruits now. Ohio State and Ryan Day, they not only recruit good players, but they recruit great people. I mean, you have to
Mhm.
fit into that culture. It's a fit. They're not, you don't see Ohio State having these off the field issues that you see these other schools having.
Yeah.
And,
Mhm.
I mean, we can tell. I mean, it's just a lot of these kids we talk to are so much more mature than what I was at that age.
So,
So I give all you parents a lot of credit. I mean,
thank you. I appreciate you, man.
I
Yeah,
have
y'all
a,
deserve it.
I have a 10-year-old daughter, and that's what I always teach her: manners, respect.
Yep. Because that reflects on you when she goes out and bees any of those things that you don't teach her, it comes back to you.
Sure.
Hmm.
That's all. I always worry about that. You're right. That's such great advice, man.
Thank you, man.
Anything else, Sean? You got anything else?
I'm good right now.
Yeah, I'm good now. So, hey, Bryson, where can everybody find you?
I'm on Instagram. Busy Bee. I don't even know my Instagram, but I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on all of them, man. So I post a lot on Twitter. So if you see anything with Bryson, I probably posted it because I post everything with him. So if you see anything about him, I probably posted it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
amazing.
how I found you, man, and asked you to come on the show. I found you on Twitter, and we started
Yep.
following each other.
Yep. I'm always
And
on Twitter. So
I appreciate you. You've always been nice to me and always been respectful. And I'm
thank you,
so
bro.
glad that you.
I appreciate you, man. Once again, TJ, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
Thank
Maybe
you.
I'll
You're one of the best people I've met. Literally.
Thank you. And
maybe
let's
before the.
look what I got right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Guess
yeah.
where that's from? Guess where that's from?
Oh,
Natty
the
Daddy?
natty, the
Oh,
natty,
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah,
yeah.
natty,
yeah.
baby.
Who got one of these? Who got one of these?
Just
Only the
you.
only the parents of the Buckeyes, baby.
Right.
That's awesome, bro.
Thank you, man.
Hey, maybe before the season starts, we can get you back on and talk some football,
Thank you, bro, for sure, man. That won't be no problem, man.
and maybe have a show with you and Bryson on sometime if you guys got some time and you
Yep,
want to
that
kick
would
it
be
with us.
great, man. That would be great, bro.
And whenever you have the chance, you can also hop on to Pop's Pod with Duke and Duke and Daniel on Pop's Pod to talk more about this stuff in depth on the parental
Oh,
side of things, like they do.
okay.
It's
They
on
got
All
every
right.
Friday.
every
Okay.
Friday.
Thank you, man.
It's Duke Pettijohn. His son's Riley Pettijohn. Then there's Daniel Sanchez. His son's Devin Sanchez.
Yeah. I think they sent me an email. I think I got an email from them. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, they do
Yeah.
a podcast, and they go behind the scenes and they help people with, they answer questions of, try to help parents out who's going through the recruiting process.
Yes, sir.
Try to just give people advice and
That's
tell
great,
stories
man.
about what
Yeah,
it's like.
I'd be glad to get on them, share my advice, whatever I know with them also, man.
I know that they'd love to have you on, and I mean, we're so happy that you come on. This has been an awesome interview.
Thank you,
And
man.
you are welcome to come back anytime. And please tell Bryson we say congratulations on a great year, and thanks for bringing us home an Addy, man. And go get us another
Thank you,
one.
guys. Thank you.
Go
Oh,
get
wait.
us-
Oh, wait.
Ayo!
Thank you, guys.
Ayo!
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
No
Thank you.
problem, man.
Have a good one, man.
You too, Mr.
Appreciate
Rogers.
you.
Thank you.
Wow, what a great show, guys. Want to thank everybody for coming on and watching our show and giving us support. We love you guys. Anything else you want to say to our fans here, our chat here?
Yeah, we were gonna go over some CFB news too, Sean, before we left, but yeah,
We kind of ran out of time.
Yeah, we kind of ran out of time for a little bit, but we'll be going over it next Thursday. And we'll talk about the ladies, such as the clowns up north and their meltdown over their recruiting, because it's been bad. And they've been melting down about Ohio State getting over in some really key like recruiting and how we've been on a hot streak. So we're gonna go over that. We're also gonna talk about basically on three's list of the top quarterbacks entering next year, because what's funny is the list is kind of funny, because it's like you have the more experienced quarterbacks kind of ranked down, but you have the most inexperienced ones ranked ahead of them. Again, they won't be the top three by the end of it, but it's like right now they're the top three. So like we're gonna talk about that and even more coming up next week. So love seeing you guys. Love pretty much everybody that came on. Steely, great seeing you, brother. Great seeing you.
Doug,
Same with you, Dennis.
Andre, always posting up the little trophies. Dennis Marr. I mean, all of our favorite guys that always come on here. Tyler, Stars Align. Thank you, ma'am. And I want to tell everybody about Emily, Lacey.
Lunatic
Tell everybody
Friend.
about a drink. Our brother drink it. You drink it.
Yep.
We all drink it. I want to give everybody a little tell everybody about a new podcast that's out. Our former my former co-host and former guy that used to be on here all the time, Tony, he's got a new show. It's Curse Designs, but it's gonna be Tony's Top Tens, and it's basically an entertainment show. Last night it's gonna be every Wednesday at 9:00. And we did top 10 movies, our favorite top 10 movies of all time. It's not going to be a Buckeye show. So you guys go over there. It's going to be entertainment. It was fun. A lot of you were on there last night that I saw. We had a blast talking about our favorite movies. Just something different, so please support our favorite, one of our brothers, in the Buckeye community.
Yeah, you guys could see both myself and Sean on there when we do the top 10 TV shows. So go ahead and check it out if y'all want to.
And I mean, everybody thanks again for the support and what you guys do for us. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, and the Buckeye boys wouldn't be able to do what they do. So our community is strong. It's awesome. Please go over and check out Scoop. Scoop should be starting anytime, in a couple minutes.
About like
tonight after Scoop, please go to the Ohio podcast and check out Eric's show, because they got their call-in show tonight, guys. So
yeah, and for final little note, hey, you little Team Up North clown fan scumbags. We know that some of y'all have been in our chat kind of acting up, so I'm going to let you make this clear to you right now. Devin and them can bring you back. I don't care. If you come on our chat and you act out and you take personal shots, it's one thing if you're trolling for fun. Do not care. If you're making jokes, it's fine. If you cross that line, you will get timed out. Secondly, or better yet, you can see the devil in me come out and I will go straight after you and we'll see how you like it. So behave yourselves in our chat. Unless you really want to see the worst.
Hey, if you guys come in and you want to disagree with our takes, we're cool with it. You want to have debates, we're cool with it. You want to joke around, we're cool with it. But if you take personal shots at people, I mean, there's no need for that, guys. There's no cross the line. Please, let's just have fun, guys. You know what I mean? Let's just have fun.
Just have some fun. Like we can joke around. You can disagree where it takes all this, that, and the other. We don't mind that. It's when you go all over the line. So go over the line if you want to. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Really.
Don't let her. Trust me, guys. Don't let me. Don't unleash the beast.
Because y'all already don't like me. Y'all already don't like me. I'm gonna make you not like me even more. You're not gonna like me. I promise you.
Guys, we appreciate you. Thanks for all the support. 65, see ya, Troy V. All you guys. I mean, Dennis Marr. Oh yeah, Dennis. There wasn't a time difference in Marblehead. It just we had some technical difficulties getting the show started, so we figured it out. But I saw that you said I must be on a different time zone in Marblehead, but nah, it's Eastern time, bro. So much love to our people in the freaking chat, man.
Yeah. Hey, Doug, thanks for the comment, man. Hey, thanks for that. Hey, look, I got God. I believe in him. I love him, and I'm faithful to him. But if you want to bring the devil out in me, please act like a fool. I promise you're not gonna like me. That's just a warning for Michigan fans. Don't bring out the devil in me. Don't.
Hey, again, guys, thanks again. Head over to Scoop, show Kirk and Nevada so much needed love and support. Then head over at 8:00 to the Ohio podcast and call in and give the Podfather some support.
Yeah, go ahead. And on that note, we're gonna thank you guys. We're gonna end the stream, and we hope you guys have a fantastic day. OH.
I